In our first story, a fellow of the Ghana Academy of Arts and Sciences, Professor Iman Odom Aidoo, has rubbished the current asset declaration regime in place in the country, saying it is as good as useless.
The regime, which many anti-corruption crusaders have criticized, does not oblige officer holders to make their declarations public. Not even the Auditor General, who is the custodian of the declarations, can verify the claims made. An arrangement, Professor Odom Aidoo says, makes accountability almost impossible. He was speaking at a Joy FM Thought Leadership Forum at Legon here in Accra.
A person who holds a public office is expected to submit to the Auditor General a written declaration of all properties or assets owed by him and all liabilities owed by him, whether directly or indirectly. The declaration, according to the Public Office Holders Act 550, Section 3, shall be made by the public officer before taking office at the end of every 4 years and at the end of the term of his office. The asset declaration debate became topical in recent years when Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari and his vice, Yemi Osibajo, declared their assets in May last year. Under the current legislation in Ghana, the Auditor General, the institution mandated to receive and keep the asset declaration forms from public office holders, is only obliged to scrutinize the contents of the form on the orders of a high court. That system, according to Professor Iman Odom Aidoo, is useless.
Under the current rules, the assets, whether they are declared or not, nobody really knows, because it is in the bosom of the Auditor General's department. To the Auditor General, who is the custodian of this, of these declarations, of these disclosures, as at now, claims that the law does not permit him or her to look at what is it that have been disclosed. So by the current interpretation, the Auditor General simply receives an envelope said to be containing the disclosed assets of the official. According to our Auditor General, well, he may well be holding brown envelopes containing toilet rolls.
He also described as excessive the powers vested in the president and his appointees and wants those powers slashed.
Ghanaians have come to appreciate that you cannot have any serious system of controls on the behavior of public office holders in a constitutional arrangement which grants so much power to the presidency and appointees of the president. And so, if we are serious about constraining, about the proper and effective use of state power for economic and social transformational purposes, then it's important that we reduce the excessive powers that we have entrusted to the executive.
Laboratory staff of the Tamale Teaching Hospital have joined patients' calls for government intervention to avert a planned arrangement by the hospital's management to outsource laboratory services to a private firm.
They say if that is allowed, it would make healthcare delivery expensive in an already malfunctioning tertiary healthcare center that serves the Upper East, Northern and Upper West regions.
To interested companies who share in the vision of the Ministry of Health and the Tamale Teaching Hospital on the basis of private partnership agreement. The advertisement stated that the decision to outsource is to ensure control management system that guarantees consumable security for effective service delivery. But clients of the facility and laboratory staff say they are opposed to the move by the management. They argue that if that is allowed, it will make healthcare delivery expensive for the poor and wants government to intervene to avert the outsourcing. Patrick Ashigba is the head of the hematology unit of the Tamale Teaching Hospital laboratory.
The challenges we have in this hospital is always that if inputs or the reagent needed for this equipment to function, it's time for them for this input to be bought. They are not bought by management, and they tend to think we are not doing our work well. And you know, as a teaching hospital, we have a mandate to give diagnostic services, education, and research. And that one, the students from medical UDS can attest to the fact that the staff in teaching hospital are one of the best in teaching students, and this move will render this whole process useless because the private man doesn't have the resources needed to train people.
Well, an aggrieved worker, their tensions here in Accra continue to rise or increase between the management of the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital and its Senior Staff Association.
The two parties have been going at each other following the interdiction of the president of the Senior Staff Association, Charles Ofe Palm. Joint news sources say the Senior Staff Association has secured a court injunction restraining the management from taking any disciplinary action against the leadership of the Senior Staff Association. The following news desk report puts it all in perspective.
It's not new to feuds between its leadership and the Senior Staff Association. The latest brouhaha began when the Korle Bu Senior Staff Association, KOSA, went on a demonstration demanding the removal of the Chief Executive, Dr. Gilbert Buckle. The senior staff petitioned the Health Ministry to remove Dr. Buckle over allegations of financial mismanagement, not ensuring the facility has essential supplies, and intimidation. The board did not take kindly to this, initiating a disciplinary procedure against the leadership of KOSA. They were cited for gross insubordination, disregard for hospitals' laid-down procedures for grievance and resolution, and misrepresentation. KOSA dragged the board to the High Court, seeking an injunction to prevent the disciplinary process. But before he could secure the injunction, President Charles Ofe Palm was interdicted for speaking to a local radio station. This did not go down well with the senior staff, and on Monday reiterated the allegations raised against the hospital management.
Stopping, create, loot and share. And then when you speak about it, to prevent the deaths that we are seeing, people die because of lack of oxygen. You see parasites. And then when we speak, you instruct. Let me be clear to Ghanaians that the management did not take that decision. That the body did not take that. It was a unilateral decision by the CEO. We should all take NFR benefits. We should all take 100 Ghana cedis. And then you pocket 7,000. When we raise, you go and pay back that I didn't know. Who are you deceiving? Yourself. We have raised, because of what we said today, a lot of the accountable interest have been paid back. Because we've raised those issues in the media. So he has gone to pay back all those monies. No, they didn't collect interest. We said it in December that if we don't take this man out, the way it's going, we are going to collapse the hospital. 3 months on, what do we see? IC, is it working? No! CSS, is it working? No! Is it working? No! Orthopedic theater, is it working? No! Oxygen. Oxygen, gas plant, is it working? No! So am I telling lies? No! Who are you deceiving? Yourself. Who are we deceiving? Well, common basic instruments, we don't have them. Sometimes I don't want to exercise. Thermometer. Thermometer. Look at this. People are just dying. And we see them dying. And the money that is supposed to be used to take care, to revive them, they are using those money to do other things.
It looks like this also did not go down well with the hospital management. And our sources say a dismissal letter was issued to Mr. Ofe Palm, but the letter was withdrawn within hours.
Well, we'll bring you a lot more development on this very issue. Now let's go to the Volta region, where in the Akachi North District, we're told that it's coming down hard on Marauding herdsmen accused of causing widespread destruction to lives and property in the district.
District Chief Executive James Gunu says any offending herdsman will be arrested and prosecuted along with their landlords once it is established their cattle has gone on rampage. He disclosed this at the Assembly's first ordinary meeting of the second session at Ava Dakwa.
Akyem North is one of the hardest hit districts by activities of nomadic herdsmen in the Volta region. There are over 10 herdsmen settlements with a substantive number of them living in communities in the district. They mostly live in isolation on lands given to them by some chiefs, most often in the bush. Residents in these areas where the herdsmen live regularly complain their crops are destroyed by cattle belonging to these herdsmen. Due to their activities and that of their animals, crop production has drastically reduced in the district, which used to contribute significantly to the food basket of the country. This informed the Assembly's action to flush the herdsmen out of the district to avert further destruction to farms. Akyem North DCE James Gunu, who was unhappy about residents giving out land to these herdsmen to settle on, said the Assembly has passed a resolution to prevent residents from accepting and giving out lands to herdsmen. He, however, emphasized that he would leave no stone unturned to drive away herdsmen from the district, adding that herdsmen and their landlords will be arrested and prosecuted accordingly for any damage caused to crops on a farmland.
The Fulani menace is on the rise. What we are doing as an assembly now is that we have passed resolution that will deter people from accepting them. If we arrest any Fulani person who caused destruction to a farm, we arrest the landlord who accepts the Fulani as well, and then charge both of them and make sure that they are punished severely so that the farmers can be free and go about their farming activities.
According to the DCE, the presence of herdsmen in the district is also a security threat and called on security agencies in the district to enforce the resolution passed by the Assembly to ensure herdsmen are held responsible for the destruction of farms.
The activities of Fulani herdsmen in the district have increased again. That is why we need support of all, especially the security agencies, to enforce our last resolution that when a Fulani man causes destruction to a farm, he is arrested with his landlord, charged and punished together within the laws of the land.
Fred Kwame Cyrus reports for Joy News.
The Water Resources Commission is challenging claims that the recent water shortage in Sawam and surrounding towns was caused by a blockage of the Denso River.
The Nsawam Adwoejire Municipal Assembly and the Ghana Water Company had blamed sun winners they said had blocked the river. But speaking to Joy News in the Eastern region, the Commission said the shortage had more to do with natural causes. Here's our regional correspondent Edwin Kofisian with his report.
3 months ago, Nsawam Adwoejire and its surrounding communities were hit by water shortage. Residents traveled several distances to get water for their chores from different sources. Some private organizations and individuals partnered the GWCL to supply potable water to residents as a stopgap. Weeks later, Joy News discovered upon a tip-off that some sun winners had blocked a tributary of the Denso River, which supplies raw water to the plant, thereby causing the shortage. The Ghana Water Company also confirmed the activities of sun winners at Chichere, a nearby community affected by their operations. The days that followed saw intensified activities by the Adwoejire Municipal Assembly to stop the sun winners, insisting the police in the area apprehend and prosecute perpetrators. A few days after this concerted effort, the water company could supply water to residents at full capacity. But the Eastern Regional Manager of the Denso River Basin of the Water Resources Commission, Roland Roland Abraham, speaking to Joy News on the sidelines of a community durbar to sensitize residents of Densuso and Apedra on the need to protect water bodies, blamed the water shortage that hit in Sawa and other parts of the country on natural causes, including climate change.
We traveled to other river systems around the east central region, and it came up that even the Kakum River dried up just as the Dinsu did during the drought period. So thank God now the river is back on track with the recent rains. We are back to normal. Now communities around Apedra are now getting regular supply of water. So this is what we have actually witnessed today, that the water has actually regained its original self, and water is being produced for several communities along the stretch of the river.
The aim of the sensitization durbar is to lead the community to protect and preserve the Etiwa forest cover as a precursor to conserving water bodies which take their source from it. It is also geared towards creating awareness on the eventual conversion of the Etiwa forest into a national park. Assistant Regional Manager of the Forestry Commission, Mansour Howard, said illegal mining activities, indiscriminate felling of trees and bush burning pose a great danger to the sustainability of the forest cover and water bodies.
Serious illegal activities normally occur in the off-reserve area of the Tiwa and not within the forest reserve, the Tiwa Forest Reserve. But we need to protect the Tiwa Forest Reserve so that all the illegal activities that are going on in the off-reserve area of the Tiwa will not enter into the main forest reserve of the Tiwa. That is why we are doing all our possible best to make sure that we stop all the illegal activities around the forest reserve so that they don't enter into the forest reserve.
The chief of Densuso, Nana Edu Amayao II, said even though his community accommodates a water treatment plant that serves adjoining communities, his community lacks potable water. He therefore appealed to authorities to urgently provide them with a source of water.
And that's it for the news. We have a couple of your messages around. We would want to read one or two for you.
Yeah.
And then we'll go and look at what stories we have on the front and back pages of the newspapers.
Yeah. Good morning, Costa Paga. What's up, man? Costa says, you guys always look cute. Show me your dressmaker and say hi to everyone in Paga. So hello, everybody in Paga watching us.
Hey. What up? What up?
Okay, this one says, when life gives you 100 reasons to cry, show life that you have 1,000 reasons to smile. Good morning, Roland. Mama V, have a very blessed weekend.
Good morning.
And it's from Love Mac Adodi. Papa say we wish you same, darling. This one from Val Smith from Bando says, good morning, Sir Roll and Mama V. You guys are making my day. Thanks to you all. Please tell the government to organize and pay us 2013-2014 arrears.
Teacher.
Yeah, Teacher. Definitely.
Teacher. Right.
And the final one, and then we'll bring you the headlines. Good morning, Roland. Life is like a die. You don't always get what you are expecting, but whatever you get helps you to count your steps ahead. That's from Scholastic in Tuobadom watching the show this morning. More messages, but we will have to pause and bring you the headlines, and then, we'll share the messages. But I'm asking, what do you pack for your children to take to school for snacks? Like right now, what are you putting in that bag, even as you watch the show? Let us know. 0560 800,000.
Okay, we're taking a break. When we come back, we'll look at the stories on front and back page of the newspapers. We'll look at some online portals, and then we'll look at a lot more of your messages as well. So it's all up next.